Welcome everyone today to the Tanya Love Show. I apologize for last week. We seem to have our internet down, and so we were not able to get on, but Amnon helped us out and put up a past video, so I hope that was helpful. Probably something that you needed to hear twice, so it's all good. Today, our focal point for this conversation is channeling in higher wisdom on what is an empath and how can we live empowered as an empath. So an empath basically is a being who feels and perceives energy, and they feel everything. So when they're out and about, if there's tension, if there's negativity or violence or any of these frequencies of energy, an empath feels that vibrationally. I feel we all feel things, but some of us are, let's call it hypersensitive, like we are tuned in at a higher level of sensitivity. And that sensitivity is a gift when we understand how to keep it in balance and how to discern energy. But it can feel like a curse to many that are empathic if they're not understanding how to stay grounded and how to kind of what I call bubble up, where they expand their auric field and they allow that auric field to be an impenetrable membrane. So if you kind of think of it like this bubble of energy that's a shield and that lower vibration cannot come through it, we can set that intention. And so I feel led to speak on this. I've actually had angels coming to me a lot lately in dream state as well as in meditation, and I've been seeing Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron's been coming through, and we're getting ready to offer a workshop this coming Saturday in my sacred space on the empowering of the empath. And this is going to be a series. And for those of you that don't live locally, if you have an interest in being a part of a workshop like this, please send me an email or write on there right now to Amnon and let him know that you have an interest. And you can go to my website and get my information and send me an email to tanyaangel@gmail.com, because if I have enough interest externally, I would love to start a workshop, like a webinar or something that would be open for everyone. But this is great for me to just speak to each of you in a one-sided way, but the workshops would give the opportunity for you to tune in and ask your questions, and it would be more personal connection. The other option is to sign up for some soul coaching sessions with me, and I can work with you over the phone, over Skype, or remotely, just through an auric clearing. We don't even really need to be in dialogue, but kind of feel out what you're needing, and I am just going to give you the information and then let you all choose from there. But the thing that I'm feeling is that it's really important for us to discuss what being an empath is and how to walk on this planet and navigate all this heavy energy without having it take us over. And an empath that's a learning empath, that means that there's someone that maybe they don't even know what an empath is, and that's really just a label, it's a word, but what the symbol of that is that we perceive and pick up on frequencies very powerfully. So someone that's a learning empath maybe understands that they feel things, but they don't know what to do with it. They may be a child that's going to school and they just feel sick whenever they're around all that chaotic energy, or it could be maybe a person that goes to work and their work environment makes them feel sick or tense, stressed out, and they don't even know why. They just know that they feel tension. So this would be a great example of someone that's a learning empath. They aren't even aware of what they are, but they're feeling the consequence of that energy. They're feeling it. They just maybe don't understand what to do with it. And then the empowered empath is an empath that has awakened and understands that they are empathic. They understand that they read the world and vibrationally. They read the energy. They perceive the emotions of those around them. This would be an empowered empath. They've learned how to feel that energy, let it touch them, let it give them information, and then they push it back. They send that energy back. They don't let it attach to them and hang out vibrationally. And it's really important that we understand this. I work with a lot of healers. I work with clients that are just awakening and learning empaths, but I also work with a lot of healers that are empathic and know they are, but are still struggling with staying grounded, still struggling with allowing the energy to come touch them, to give them the information. Like an intuitive healer is going to get the information from feeling it vibrationally, but we need to know how to release it and how to send it back and not allow it to kind of climb on us and feel like we're slimed and like that energy's hooked to us, because that can really affect us for the rest of our day. A good example of this would be a massage therapist. I've known so many friends who have been massage therapists, and they are loving souls. They love to give. They want to help people feel better, but they are empathic. And sometimes the way they learn about that is because they're in giving these massages all day, and then they take that energy on from these clients. The client has a sickness, or they're tense or stressed out, and then the empathic healer takes that away from them, which makes the client feel great. But then the massage therapist has issues, or her back's thrown out, or her muscles cramp up, or she gets sick. And so it's really important that healers understand their gift of empathy, and that they learn how to move and navigate the world in an empowered way, so that we're not absorbing all that stuff, and that we don't take on what isn't ours to take on. So I feel the angels have a lot of urgency to share this with humanity, because it's been coming through me in a quite powerful way. And this week has been very interesting for me to observe even like family members and people that are close to me that are really struggling because of the lack of their self-love, the lack of their honoring their own boundaries and staying in their power. And it's interesting because when we're close to our loved ones, this will be the greatest challenge, is the people we spend the most time around. If they come in and they're very tense and stressed out, an empathic energy wants to help ease that, wants to help them. But if we don't stay grounded and rooted in our love and our alignment, it's very easy that energy can knock us right out of our alignment. So you know how I'm always talking about alignment? That is the most important focal point. And for myself, I'm a human, and I have these human experiences where I will feel really confident and powerful and rooted in my alignment. And then someone I care for deeply comes in, they're hurting, they're suffering. I'm tuning into that to help them. And if I'm not super careful, I can get pulled into it energetically. So it's important that we reach out and we help and assist, but we stay centered, we stay grounded in our own power. And if it's too tense, we know that we need to go on a walk in nature, or, I need to pull away from this person until they find their balance. I'm going to go and meditate and just breathe. And truly connecting with our breath is so powerful. There's a reason I'm so passionate about helping others with meditation, and it's because the power of just a few minutes of deep centered breathing can do a world of good for all of us, but especially empathic souls that, maybe feel like they are taking on a lot of energy. It's really important that we pull away from it, we detach ourselves from it, and then we come back to source. And source, the quickest path to connecting with source is through your breath, through your conscious, aligned breath, and allowing that goodness to come in, allowing the support to come in. If each of you that's listening today, just take a moment and just observe your breath. Like, just tune in and notice, are you breathing consciously, like deep breaths, or is it very shallow? Are you even holding your breath? And this is something to be mindful of throughout your day, especially if something comes along and creates tension, or you're empathic and you sense, negative stuff around you, violence, lower vibration. It could be a movie playing. It could be, just like people are arguing in the street or on the bus near you. And vibrationally, there's this like rippling of energy that touches you. And pay attention to how you're processing that. Are you allowing that energy to kind of move and pass through you? Are you deflecting that energy because you understand you can push your auric field out and expand and kind of push that energy away? Or are you just letting it come in and just bomb you, and energetically it feels like you're being attacked? So it's really important that we tune into that. And then just knowing that we can reconnect with source through our breath can be very empowering, because it is not hard to connect to source. You do not have to go through a lot of extensive workshops or training or anything to be worthy. It's available right now, and it's available in this conscious breath. And so just take a few moments to feel that. And are you allowing that breath to come in, or are you pinching the hose of that support? That would be a great place for you to begin with how open you are. And that will really affect you vibrationally and in your health and wellness. I'm going to take a pause and see, Amnon, is anyone writing in any questions or anything they're wanting to share about being empathic?
Not yet.
Okay. If any of you do want to comment, or you want to ask me a question in particular about being empathic, please do. Just write into Amnon. He will let me know. Or you can call in. One of the things it was interesting, yesterday I had a pretty interesting weekend. It was pretty intense, and there was a lot of stuff going on vibrationally that from the outside world just observing appeared as chaos. And I knew that it was chaos that really wasn't anything about me, but it was kind of coming into my movie, and I was observing it and what to do about it. And this is something that, each of us, we can't control the world around us, but we can tune in on what we can do in an empowered way that protects us, or that helps us feel more ease instead of allow that tension to come and consume us. And yesterday I just had this feeling of we just need to get out. I needed to take my son and my daughter. Well, my daughter actually stayed home, but my son and my beloved were just like, let's go out and just go into nature. So we went out into nature, and we were on a boat ride. We were fishing, and it was really beautiful out in nature. And nature has a way of teaching us if we're really paying attention. I've always found this to be true. And we're out there fishing, and we're just in this peaceful energy kind of floating along. And suddenly we'd be standing and, fishing, and it's all calm waters. And then one of these big ski boats would go by blaring their music. They're shooting water everywhere, and they're like creating a huge wake wherever they go, and oblivious to anyone around them, just shooting through the center. And then those waves ripple out and almost knock us off the boat because we're standing up fishing. And so I remember just like really keeping my eye on what was going on around us on the water, so that I could stay grounded, so I could be prepared for that wave when it came. As this happened, I was like, this is perfect. This is like a symbol and a metaphor to express for the show tomorrow. And so I felt Source was really bringing me a very visual and sensory awareness experience that I could use to explain this energy thing. So for an empath is kind of like, we're that person on the fishing boat, and we're just kind of minding our business. We're at ease. We're just enjoying nature and the stillness, and suddenly there's this disruptive energy goes by, and we all feel it. We can hear it a lot of times. We see it, but we feel it energetically. And if we're not really mindful, it can have the power to ripple out and knock us over. So this is what I mean by alignment. If I'm not staying aware of my environment, and someone comes in and they're tense and angry, it can really knock me out of my alignment very quickly. Next thing, I'm falling in the water, I'm cussing and screaming and angry, and it's making my day bad. And that's the energetic wave from that vibration that was sent out. So I'm not saying the people on the ski boat were bad people, but it's a symbol. There's people on the planet that they are the ski boats of life, that they tear through, no care in the world of what they're causing destruction to, because they're just having a fun time. They're partying, they're drinking, they're, in their place of, woohoo, I'm partying. No concept of awareness of anybody that's being affected by the wake that they're sending out. And that is so symbolic to me of many unconscious beings on the planet that are just doing their thing with no awareness of how it's affecting others around them. They're angry and everyone needs to know it. And they don't really care how that energy can reach out and touch and affect the lives around them.